Hi, Chef Viverito here. Today we're talking about flatfish fabrication. Today I'm going to work on a turbot, alternately pronounced turbot. This is a fish that I would refer to as disc-shaped. If you were to trim the fins off of this fish, it is almost disc-like, like a frisbee or a plate, compact disc if you will. If you notice, you rub your hands on this fish, there are no scales. It's got bony protrusions. So interesting, this fish will tell you its story. It's farm raised, it's wild, they live in the Baltic, the Mediterranean, out in Asia. This one came to us from a lovely farm in Spain. I'm going to show you an alternate method of fabricating today that I like to refer to as up and over. If you look at any of my other videos, you'll see how to get quarter fillets. With this fish, I want to do full fillets. So I'm going to turn my knife so that it's equal with the collarbone, tuck it under the collarbone, and I'm going to slice into its head, flip the knife over, stick it in the hole, and release the fillet behind the pelvic fins. I'll then swim the fish away from me, and I'm going to ride the dorsal fin with the length of my knife, very shallow, through the tail. Then I'm going to run my fingers in here, and I want to feel the bones on my fingernails. That means I'm right on top of them. If I feel them on my fingertips, I went underneath them. I'm just going to ride this fish all the way to the spine. I'm going to release the meat up out of the head, and I'm going to release the meat off of the spine at a 45-degree angle towards me. This is like the flat cut that you may see. And then to release the fillet off the frame, I'm going to flex, flatten out, riding the ribs out past the fins. Give it a slight tug. It'll release off the rib cage, and then I can come out. Here we have what would be called a full fillet. This fish was left in the round, so you have to be very careful that you don't burst the viscera sac. You could remove it if you so desire. You could also lightly dry it. And as always, we have a clean dry board and a clean dry fish. It makes it a lot easier. It doesn't slide around. And on side two, we take our fish and we swim them still to our cutting hand. And this time we stand belly to belly. I'm going to line the tip up right behind the gill plate and collarbone, push into her head, swing it around, release the fillet, and then swim the fish towards me with the dorsal fin once again on my cutting hand side. And I'm going to ride the dorsal with the length of my knife all the way, the length of the fish from the tail to the head, same thing. You want to feel those bones on your fingernails. And then keep riding the bones until you hit the spine. When you get to the spine, remove the flesh from the head and release the meat off of the spine at that 45-degree angle. And if you're right-handed, the last position you want to go is swim the fish to 10 o'clock, like on a watch face. And you will cut and flex backwards, lay your knife down flatly, and come out. And we'll cut them out, lift up over the ribs, and come out. This is a fascinating, fabulous technique if you want a larger portion size. Alternately, a fun thing to do is if you ever hear of a fish steak. The steak is a cross-cut section of the fish, like this flounder, that will go cross-cut through the whole thing, bones and all. You could take meat glue or fish glue. You could glue this together, let it set, and then offer people boneless steaks of turbot.